What child is this who lay to rest on Mary's lap is sleeping? Whom angels greet with anthems sweet, while shepherds watch are keeping. This is Christ the King, whom shepherds guard and angels sing. Haste, haste to bring him, Lord, the babe, the Son of Mary. So bring him incense, gold, and myrrh, compassion King to own him. The King of kings salvation brings. Let loving hearts enthrone him.
All right, give me 1 minute, guys.
Raise a song on high.
Be ready in
The
1 minute.
virgin sings her lullaby. Joy, joy, for Christ is born, the babe, the Son of Mary. This is Christ the King, whom shepherds guard and angels sing. Haste, haste to bring him, Lord, the babe, the Son of Mary.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, no spoilers. You get kicked out of the chat. No spoilers. If you know what's going on, no spoilers tonight. Not on my watch. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump right into it. What do you say? Hello. Hey, how are you? Hello, everybody. Good to see you. Dave Neal here, stand-up comic, and we've got to turn some lights on. A little late to the party over here. Hey, let's go to the chat. If anyone wants to call in and let me know what you think about tonight's episode, 401-213-9828. Feel free. 401-213-9828. Let's do a little post-episode live. JF says, if Michelle doesn't want Joe, I'll take him. All right, we have the auction. Who wants a man? Theodore says, hello, how are you? Samantha says, I did not see Joe going home. Definitely thought Brendan was a goner. I thought Brendan was a goner too, based on the edit. They were really setting Brendan up to have his heart ripped out. Oh, jeez, just dropped the water. Oh, boy. Hold on. Honey! Wait, hold on a second, folks. We had a, just had a spill. Only water. Oh, boy. Okay. You know, I don't think I've had have I had a spill? I don't think I've ever had like a full-on proper spill. I feel like I've spilled a water about every day this week. Pretty good episode. All right, let's do it. Here we go, folks. Let me just clean up my desk here. Just spilled a little water. Better water than the coffee. All right. If anyone wants to call in with your thoughts, 401-213-9828. The only live stream in Bachelor Nation that takes your phone calls, I believe. I think we can brag about that. Centigrade says, I love Brandon. I still don't see Nate as being serious for an engagement. He's cute, but not the committing type. Yeah, well, all of Reddit was kind of making fun of Nate there. Brandon, pray for Joe. Hide your kids. Now, hold on a second. Back to live mode. I wasn't on live mode. Let's see what we have here in live mode. A little glitchy right now. There we go. Here we have Twitter doing what Twitter does. Oh my gosh, the tweets. Hold on here. Not Nate getting into Brandon's head. All right, that's a good one. Let's see here. Joe got Michelle's eyes rolling in the back of her head. Right? Did you guys see that? It looked like Michelle's. Were her eyes open when they were kissing? Joe does have some pretty eyes. Absolutely. Stephanie says, Nate seemed to say what she wanted to hear to get it in. Joe, yeah, we went to the fantasy suite. Brandon and Nate. Come again? This is my favorite. His face changed real quick. Ended up going to the fantasy suite for night 1. He's like, oh. That's when it gets real, folks. All right, let's check your voicemails. Real quick here, see what we have. Anyone wants to call in, 412-213-9828. Do me a favor, hit the like button if you haven't already. Leave a like, post on your like. Don't mind.
Push the like button.
Go ahead and push that like button. Looks like we have a phone call from Barb. I don't really know if Barb has much to say. Let's see what Barb's saying here. First voicemail from Barb.
Hi, this is Barb and Presty. We are calling from Navarre, Ohio. Just wanted to say hi. Down there.
Oh,
Take
we
care.
lost you.
Bye.
Barb, I didn't hear anything you said there. Call back. We lost you there. Post on your
Push
like.
the like button. Everyone should post on your like.
Only 10 likes. Get the likes up. The live stream lasts longer when there are more likes to be had. All right. Voicemail lines are wide open. What'd you guys think? No spoilers, no fighting, and super chats appreciated. That's how we work over here. We don't fight in the comment section. We don't spoil it. And we are welcoming of super chats. But, of course, you can call in for free. No need to do a super chat for that. Let's see if we have any voicemails. There'll be, and then next week, I don't have the exact schedule, but we'll be doing a pre-finale live stream and a post-finale. I'm assuming East Coast and West Coast. It's going to be a busy night. So if you're on the East Coast, we'll do an after-episode live stream. If you're on the West Coast, we'll do an after-episode live stream. I might be drinking peppermint beer. I got these mint peppermint beers. I might be doing that next week. We'll have to see.
Hi there, I'm Jacqueline from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Hi, Jacqueline.
I am sad for Joe, but I saw it coming. I mean, her connection is clearly stronger with the other two. Nate, I think people give him a lot of flack. If he's not ready, he's not ready. I think that obviously, as we know, this process is a bit crazy, and I think Nate is, scared to get on one knee that soon. But, I mean, that's normal in real life, right? But I do think she's going to choose him. I think she likes Brandon, loves him, whatever. But I do feel like Brandon is almost like the safety net, and she figures out, am I really going to take a chance on Nate? Just my feelings. Bye.
Yeah, that's a good thought to it. Of course, don't forget, everybody, we're doing no spoilers here. So we're just, these are just hypotheticals. I mean, it looks like she said Brandon could be her soulmate, right? She said that. She did ask Nate. Solange said, by the way, beautiful name, Solange, said, how old is Michelle? She literally makes Nate tell her what she wants to hear. This is true. I don't know her age. I think she's late 20s. But, it doesn't mean Nate wasn't going to say it. But, of course, we'll never know because Michelle was like, true or false? You like me? One of those things. All right, so a couple phone calls from Oklahoma. Let's go to Linda in Texas.
Hi, Dave. This is Linda from Texas. I thought that this episode was actually pretty well done. I was surprised there wasn't more drama, but I don't know. I can't tell if Brandon actually skewed Michelle's decision. I want to say no, but whenever she was really upset about Joe, it made me feel like maybe she slightly regretted keeping Brandon. But I'm not sure. I'd love to hear your thoughts. But, hope everyone's having a good night. Make sure you give it a like, subscribe on our way to 50K. Congrats.
Yes, that's right. We are on our way to 50K. We are only 1,000 and change away from 50,000 subscribers. I don't believe she regretted keeping Brandon there. I'm pretty sure she's really solid with who she decided to keep. Veronica says, what do we mean when we say no spoilers? What we mean is if the show hasn't aired it, we don't talk about it. So anything you saw on tonight's episode, we can discuss. But if there are any season spoilers, we're not discussing that. Veronica says, Nate gives me BDE vibes. Well, he's 6'8". One can only imagine. Tamaj says, some people already know who she chooses by reading Reality Steve spoilers. Maybe. But we don't discuss that here. So keep that information to yourself. And, the beautiful thing with Bachelorette is that nothing's ever final, right? No matter who she chooses, we've seen with plenty of seasons past that's just the beginning of the relationship. All right, let's go to New York here. Talk to Michelle. You're up.
Hello, this is Michelle Peters calling in from upstate New York, Middletown, New York. Love you, Dave. Love the show. You and Tasha are beautiful. Love the charity event that you had.
Thank you.
Great work. Awesome work. I can't believe that she let Joe go. I'm in total state of shock. I loved him. He grew on me. I think he's beautiful. I think he's been through a lot, and they have a lot in common. Everyone I've dated and I didn't have things in common with, it didn't work out. I think you need that. Brendan, honestly, if she's going to be down to 2, Brendan's awesome. He worships the ground she walks on. Also, I think her real person was Rodney. Rodney and Brendan adore her. That's just my little 2 cents. Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much for the call from Middletown, New York. She was referring to the toy drive we have where we raised 105% of our goal. That's because of you guys. Sorry, I have a knife. I don't know why. That's because of, I got a lot of things on my table. That's because of you guys that we raised over $10,000 to underprivileged kids this here season. I'm just still so shocked we were able to raise that much money. The toy drive is still active. You can still donate, and I'm still accepting all of your charity. It's a good tax write-off, and it's a good thing you can do with the Bachelor Nation crowd. So thank you guys all so much for that. Deborah says, I don't get the hype about Nate. He seems way too cocky. I mean, that's what I love about the show. Everyone sees people differently. You might think he's cocky because he's got tattoos. I don't, that would be a stupid assumption on my behalf. I think Nate's confident in his relationship. I think he's getting in his head, and maybe, and again, who knows really, but maybe now that he's seeing that it's getting real with other guys, that what's presenting as cockiness might be his own insecurity. Whereas Joe is shocked. Joe's kicked off and he was shocked the whole time. Holly said Joe was so genuine and straight up said he would propose. She had to drag everything. Nicole says Twitter is mad at Nate for smiling after receiving a rose. Well, I think Twitter was mad at Nate because Michelle had to ask him what he would be like versus him just tell her, which, I kind of reject. We don't really know exactly how it all went down. He might have told her a million different ways that he loved her, but hard to say. Samantha with a $5 super chat. Is Nate cocky or confident? Thank you so much, Samantha. I would say, good question. Thank you. I would say Nate is confident, and I mean, I guess they're not always mutually exclusive, right? In no other scenario would this be considered cocky, except for the fact that there's other guys that are trying to fall for Michelle too. So it's a good question. By the way, the phone lines are wide open, 401-213-9828. We have a call from Oklahoma and Texas. Let's see if we have any international callers or any of our Canadian friends, anyone out there from New England. So far we have, like I said, we have New York City, New York, Oklahoma, and Texas. Storm in San Diego is crazy, says Alexis. Yeah, I heard there's big surges. I have to go over near LAX. I got to go to Hawthorne, Los Angeles for a stand-up show in about an hour. So I'm not going to be on the live stream too long, but I'd love to get your take. If there's any more voicemails, by all means, let me know, and we will look at the other communities and see what they have to say. Let's see. Yeah, this is kind of representative of how it all goes. We have Nate saying, "You're something else," and then Brandon says, "You're my everything." I mean, I was taking notes. Brandon really laid it down. What is Brandon? Some of the things Brandon said were just like poetic. I'm trying to go find them. Let me go to Brandon's. There was an empanada food fight. That was nice. Brandon tells Michelle he's in love with her. Brandon says he wants to rip his heart out and lay it on the table and say, "Do what you want with it. It only beats for you." That's pretty dramatic. I would rip my heart out for you. Put it on the table. Do what you want with it, for it only beats for you. End scene. Thank you very much. Not exactly Dale Moss, but I thought I brought some intensity to it. Maybe, do with it as you may. For it only beats for thou. Do with it as you may. I would bang you and... Okay, I don't know. We're not really good with poems on the fly. Read your comments here. Holly said, Joe is so genuine and straight up. Said he would propose. She had to drag everything out. All right, we got that already. Lori says, I don't think Nate is cocky. Maybe competitive. Oh, that's a good way to put it. Competitive. Obviously... Nate wanted to kind of, and it also, I'm not sure what their ages are, but it feels like Nate has seen himself as the front runner. So now that Brandon's having some success, as it were, he's kind of like wanting to put Brandon back in his place. Nicole, ready to fight for Nate here. He didn't put anyone down. I don't see why we're trying to turn his confidence into something negative. Yeah, I don't think Nate was. I actually wrote down that Nate and Brandon were having like friendly bickering. To me, them on the couch talking about like what was better, going first or last. To me, that was just like guys talking trash to each other. That's how I took it. Oh, no, going first is the best because you get to meet. No. If you go third, she's clearly saving it for the end. I didn't take it seriously at all. But, Twitter doesn't know much about nuance. All right, here. We have a call from Clearwater, Florida, or home of Scientology.
Hey, how's it going? This is Flynn calling from Clearwater, Florida.
Hi, Flynn.
I just don't see it. I think she had the perfect match with Joe. I think she might actually want more drama than we were led on to believe.
Wow.
I think now her children are not going to have very good jump shots. She had a real good opportunity there to raise a basketball star, and just disappointed.
Well, I mean, there you go. If you're trying to start a basketball family like the Von Tramps, of basketball. But, hey, now Nate's a taller guy, right? So Joe's taller than Brandon. So if she chooses Brandon, she doesn't have the height. But if she chooses Nate, they could have kids that are 6'8". If Joe had Nate's height, Joe might be an NBA player, right? He was a good basketball player, and then you got a guy who's got the because what's Nate, like 6'8"? All right, here we go. Thank you for the call. Let's go to another call from Florida.
Hi, Dave. This is Elena calling from Florida.
Hi, Elena.
Long-time watcher, first-time caller. I just wanted to say how sad I am to see Joe go home, and I kind of had a feeling about it, but it struck me as I was watching. It reminded me a little bit like of Goldilocks, in that Brandon kind of goes over the top, and he gives her everything she wants to hear, and Joe kind of, even if he feels that he doesn't really give it enough to her, and Nate sort of figured out how to give her just the right amount, and so I think that's what happened tonight. It's a bummer for me because I really wanted to see Joe and her work out because I feel like they have so much in common. But yeah, we'll see what happens next week. Keep doing what you're doing. We're excited for 50K and have a great night. Thanks so much. Bye.
Elena, thank you so much. First-time caller, long-time watcher. I appreciate the new call. If anyone out there feels motivated to call in, I love hearing a new voice or two, and we love our regulars as well. I'm going to be doing more answers to your voicemail questions throughout the week. Less like like a string of voicemails, but specific voicemails. So if you guys call up with anything you want to say, by all means, call me when you're on a bad date or drunk at a bar. Call the voicemail line when you wake up in the morning. Whenever you feel the need, it doesn't go to my phone. It goes to a system. Some people have texted, by the way. I don't check the text regularly, but you can text. But if you do want to leave a voicemail, 401-213-9828. I'm going to try. My goal for 2022 is to try to have at least one voicemail video a day. Obviously that's not always going to happen, but that's a goal. All right. Chad asked if I'm going to be doing any shows in San Diego. I don't have anything booked soon, but I'm sure I'll have something early 2022. I need to contact the people over there in San Diego that I do shows with. Christina says, take us back on the road, Dave. What does that mean? The road to what? MB says, no West Coast show tonight? No West Coast live stream. I have a West Coast stand-up show tonight. I'll be doing at a bar near the airport. That's where I'll be tonight. I gotta get over there for 9:15, so I'll probably leave here in like 45 minutes. Lindsay says, I wish I could go get drunk at an actual bar and call Dave's voicemail line. Yeah, it'd be fun to start to get some voicemails from different situations. You know what I mean? JF says, I love how the preview makes it seem like something crazy is going to happen, but to me, it's looking predictable. She only seems to really want Nate. Well, it's hard to say. Samantha says, come to Canada. It's on the list. You sure do love comedians over there, she says. It's hot and heavy with Nate, so I don't blame her. I don't blame Nate for being cocky. He exudes sexy. Brandon is too invested. I don't disagree. Brandon love's interesting, right? Like, you want the other person to love you, but you don't want the other person to, need you. And there could be a scenario, and let me know. There could be a scenario with Brandon where that might be a red flag to any woman who's been in a obsessive relationship. If you've ever been with someone I'm not calling Brandon clingy, but he was, very clear, I love you, you're my everything, I rip my heart out, and it beats for you, all the things. I mean, it was nice by all means, but to the wrong person, that might kind of frighten them. Natalie says, don't ghost Michelle, fellas. Lesson learned. Now, my question with I wish I could read the screenshots of the initial Joe and Michelle conversation that led to him ghosting her, because I'm not sure that it's a traditional ghosting. I think they had never met. I think they had only DM'd. Does it count as ghosting if you only DM'd with each other? You can't possibly connect with the other person through DMs. Lindsay Marshall says, Dave, we're millennials. We hate leaving voicemails. I understand that. But the voicemail line, at least I'm not going to be on the other line. I used to have to call my boss, and that there was this, I used to have to call my boss, and I found an app that if you called someone through this app, it went direct to their voicemail line. Oh my gosh, game changer. I totally understand. No one wants to get stuck on a phone call. Sarah says, yes, ghosting happens over DMs all the time. Well, okay. I guess there's different levels of ghosting. Obviously, the most egregious level of ghosting is when you've hooked up with somebody and then they ghost you. That's the most egregious. I've had that happen to me. I gotta stand up bit about that. I'm not saying it's not ghosting. Bruce says Dave should get a telegraph machine and we can leave him wire messages. Yeah, could you imagine I get a Western Union? Okay, oh boy, Bruce just wired me 50 pounds or whatever. I should get a fax machine though set up so you can just send me a fax. Tracy said, I think Brandon laid it on thick tonight. Well, depends what he had for dinner. But maybe he just wanted to be sure she knew how he felt, so there was no confusion. I can totally understand that. I can totally understand not wanting any confusion, and you want to say, look, just so you know, I like you a lot. I love you. I'm in love with you. If you weren't sure, now you know. If you don't know, now you know. Veronica said, I said this to Zach. Michelle was playing the long game. She never forgot. No ghosting. I don't know. I mean, that's a long way to take a guy if you weren't considering him. Rosa said, Brandon is head over heels for Michelle, but I think Michelle is head over heels for Nate. Yeah, it appears that way. Isn't that funny how it works? And it never lines up until it does. Tamaj says, do we think Brandon pulling Michelle aside before she gave out the roses was an act of desperation? Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think he was nervous and he just wanted to make sure. Because remember, he was the first fantasy suite. So he had like a 3-day window where he hasn't communicated with her. And he's like, listen, I know the fantasy suite was fun and all, but you might have forgotten. I like you. Jane said the state of Minnesota lost tonight. Did you guys lose something else aside from Joe? Was there another thing you guys lost? Voicemail lines are wide open, 401-213-9828. I'm going to go on to Instagram right now and see if there's any tea that's floating around. If you guys ever know of anything that somebody posts, by all means, let me know so I can pull it up. Renee with a kinky question. Would there ever be a throuple from this show? Maybe in 2050. You know, I mean, technically, if all right, you want a hypothetical? Let's do a hypothetical. Say Michelle loves Nate and Michelle loves Brandon, and Brandon and Nate become super best buddies from the show. And Brandon and Nate are like, I don't even care who wins. I'm just so happy we all have each other. And then Michelle's like, really? You guys? And they're like, yeah, we can hang out. You know, when you're with them, we take some time off. We can be together. We can be a throuple. Why not? Why not? I mean, what's the show going to do? Force you out, decisions to make? Funniest line of the night might be from bros to foes. That I think Joe said that, from bros to foes. Pretty funny line. I've never heard that one. Friendly reminder that no fantasy suite week will ever be as awkward as this one. And of course, that was what appears to be Victoria Fuller, Hannah Ann, and the other one. What's her name? I spent the night in an Airstream. This is hilarious to think about again. There it is. Oh, there it is. Ivan. And by the way, I love a good Airstream, but not exactly for a fantasy suite. Ivan got an Airstream. Of course, this was the first pandemic fantasy suite. This was, I guess, Claire never got a fantasy suite, right? She went straight to the altar. So Tasha got her fantasy suite. Every time Joe speaks, volume max. I think that means he doesn't talk loudly. When you've been feeling confident about your relationship with the Bachelorette, and then she's got to have overnight dates with your roommates. That's it. Dale Moss attends the King's Man premiere with blogger Thanya Peck. All right, this is a different story there, but all right, we'll have to keep an eye on that. Not wearing a mask indoors. I guess if you're vaccinated in New York City, you don't need a mask inside. Just looking. Nate back at the hotel waiting for his overnight. Very nice. We've come a long way from him ghosting her in the DMs, that's for sure. Again, ghosting in the DMs. I just think it needs another term. All right. I think it needs another term. Alrighty. I mean, it is ghosting. I agree there. I just think ghosting, we need first degree ghosting, because second degree means worse, right? So first degree ghosting would be ghosting social media. Second degree ghosting would be ghosting someone you've met. Third degree ghosting is you've bumped Harrison's and then they ghost you. That's the worst ghosting. And of course, third degree plus would be like ghosting your wife or husband. You know what I mean? We all hear about stories where like someone, goes out for a pack of cigarettes and next thing you know, they've assumed a new identity. And it's like, boy, that person wanted to get away. Alexis says, do you think Katie would show up to your San Diego comedy show? I don't see why not. She's always invited. I invited her to my last one. We had lots of Bachelor, a lot of audience of my YouTube channel came to the last one in San Diego. It was a ton of fun. All right. Chad says, what bar? It's a place called Flights. It's like a dive bar. I mean, it's not even a dive bar. It's nice, but it's called Flights because it's a bar right next to LAX, and usually it's a pretty good audience. By the way, if you guys haven't already, follow me on Instagram at DNeils. That's where I post most of my stand-up show dates. I have shows tomorrow night and Thursday night in Los Angeles, both at pretty nice spots. Thursday night's a fun outdoor show under some heat lamps on top of a roof on a cool, swanky rooftop bar, free show, and Wednesday nights at a fun little comedy venue. It's only a $5 ticket. JC says, I think we're going to have a very short after show tonight. If Dave has a gig to get to, he may have tech issues. It won't be a very short show, but I don't have to be at my stand-up show on time. I can just get there when I get there, and they'll put me up. That's what I love about stand-up. Like, you can be late, and there'll just be another comic can go. Renee says, I agree. I think ghosting from an app when you haven't met in person isn't a big deal. I'll just say this, Renee. I think it isn't as big a deal. Veronica says, never heard of degree ghosting because I love it. Oh, well, no, that's because it's never been, I just made it up. But Renee says, has your channel passed Nick Vial yet? So let's do a live look here. This is where, oh, I'm going to spill my water again. This is where we were at this morning. I'm just going to pull it up on my YouTube. I'm going to pull my YouTube up right now on my phone. So I'm at 48,784. So I'll wake up tomorrow at 48,800, 48.8. So let's see where Nick is. Let's see if Nick has passed 49.2. Nick is at 49.2. So I'm 400 subscribers below Nick, which I think it's Tuesday. I think we'll get there by Friday. I think Friday will pass Nick. Linda says, come do a show in Cincinnati. You know, Linda, I was in Cincinnati a few months ago, and I was actually at a drag Halloween show, and somebody came up to Tosh and myself and said, oh my gosh, I watch your YouTube channel. What the hell are you doing in Cincinnati at a drag show? And I was like, wow, I'm just living life. I love Brandon, but he was a little extra tonight, and I don't know what it is about Nate, but I do not trust him. He's forcing it. Nicole said, I was stuck at LAX for 8 hours last Sunday. Would have loved to have caught your stand-up, Dave. Oh, that would have been great. Yeah. Nothing like some Terminal 3 comedy. Sherry says, heat lamps, you always talk about chilling. Well, Sherry, I don't know if you know Los Angeles, but it gets very cold at night. Let's look at the weather right now in Los Angeles. I mean, I'm not kidding. And it's anyone who lives in LA will tell you. Look at that. I mean, it's 44 degrees. And I mean, imagine being on a rooftop. You know, it's 44 degrees with a low of 39. You know, it snows in parts of Los Angeles. And it's been raining and it's a whole mess out there. Alexa says, has Michelle contacted you yet? Michelle Young, no. She doesn't really do social media much. I think when she was a contestant, she responded to one of my messages. But I don't really... I'll tag people, but I don't really try to reach out to them. Sherry said, Nick's going to be pissed and I don't mind. Oh, I don't think so. If Nick texted me like, hey, why are you doing this competition? I'd be like, oh, bro, come on, just have fun with it. You know what I mean? Like, you like use it to get your subscribers to subscribe to your channel too. It's all good. It's all good. Let's see if we have any voicemails. Oh, we have a few. Let's get to our voicemails now. All right. Let's see who this is.
Hey, Dave. This is Kim from Dallas, Texas.
Hi, Kim.
And I think, and this is just my opinion, obviously, that people are not seeing what she sees in Nate because they are not showing it. And they're not showing it because this is a story that they want to tell. And so, therefore, they are editing it this way, that he is the guy who is unsure, this, that, and the other. But Nate is in love with her just as much as Joe, just as much as Brandon. But there's three different people, which means they express it in three different ways. Just because Brandon is saying all those things to her does not mean he loves her more than Joe did, or that he loves her more than Nate did. It's just that he's more expressive. I feel people are being, I don't know what word I want to use. Some of the thoughts that they have are because of the edit. She would not bring any of these men along if she did not have a connection, if they were not saying the things she needed to hear. Yes, when at dinner and she was talking to Nate and she, was saying what she said so he can start talking. I don't think she was pulling anything. She just wanted him to start talking and say whatever it is that he felt. And I think his hesitancy was because it's new to him. Doesn't mean he doesn't feel it. It's new to him. And when they went to the fantasy suite and when they woke up, he was saying, I'm in love with you. I'm in love with you. And you see next week he talks about how he's madly in love with her, but he's afraid. So I just think he's just afraid. He's realizing, oh my God, I might lose her, and he doesn't want to. And the feelings are new, so therefore he is hesitant. He's not cocky. He's confident, and he's confident because she has been telling him all, how she felt and has made him feel secure and confident.
I agree.
He's not cocky. All these guys are great men. And everybody say, Joe had so much in common with her. What? Basketball and Minnesota? That's it. I think if Joe had dated her 2 years ago, they'd be married.
Wow.
But she's in love with other people. He's not her person. They don't have that much in common. She has something in common with all of them. We just don't see everything. I just want her to be happy. Team Michelle.
Team Michelle, Kim from Dallas. Thank you so much, Kim. You had a great point there when you said that Nate is so confident because she's telling him that he should be confident. Whenever you have insecurities in a relationship, it's usually because your intuition knows something is off. My favorite is that Zach Brown song, I Saw Goodbye in Her Eyes. It's almost like you know it right before you're getting dumped. You're like, oh yeah, I can feel it. The emotional pull away, as it were. Idaho, you're up.
Hi there, it's Catherine from Idaho.
Hi.
Can we talk about Michelle's style?
Yes.
She hits it out of the park. Every outfit, that swimming suit she had on today, the black number with the Brandon date, beautiful styling.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not an expert, but I love a lady that can pull off a good one piece. Was it a black one piece she wore? I can't remember which date it was. Yeah, Michelle's she's just nailing it this season all around. Kate says, good point, caller. Could this be similar to a Rachel and Brian edit in the sense that they're trying to make it not obvious if it is Nate? Could be, but I also do think Nate's not as, at least, I mean, what do we know? We're watching what they show us, but Nate might have a hard time expressing his emotions. I mean, that doesn't mean you should never bail on someone because they're not as good at expressing their emotions. But, I think Michelle still wants those reassurances. It's like, I know I like you. I'm just going to need to know that we're on the same page. Kate says, agreed. He said multiple times he doesn't talk about his emotions. His family isn't one to express how they feel. To me, he seems more nervous or unsure about how to vocalize his feelings. All right, just a reminder, next week we'll do a 1 hour live stream before the East Coast, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. East Coast. We'll do a 1 hour live chat, and then we'll do an after East Coast and after West Coast. That'll be next week. Oh, here we go. We're back to Dallas. By the way, really funny. Hold on one second. Nicole's so funny. She says, this voicemail ate and left absolutely no crumbs. And guess what? She's back for seconds.
Yeah, from Dallas again. I wish people would stop saying he ghosted her. He did not ghost her. They did not know each other.
Thank you.
They were DMing a few times, and then he got caught up in his life, and he didn't hit her back. It's no big deal. That happens to people all the time. It's not ghosting. It's just, if it was ghosting, he wouldn't still have been here this long. So I wish people would stop using that word. He just got busy with his life and moved on. They had never even met before. And when Nate and Brendan were going back and forth about who's first and who goes last, I agree with you. It was just, men talking trash. It was no big deal. Now, I've always said these were going to be the final three, and at the final two were going to be Nate and Brendan. But for a second, I started thinking, oh, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's Nate and Joe at the end, especially when she said, I have clarity, and this person puts me first. I'm going to have to break his heart. They made you think that she was talking about Brendan. And I can't remember if I saw her mouth say that or if that was, a voiceover and it was something she had said earlier. Anyway, bye.
Thank you so much for the call. Much appreciated. Renee says, Dave, are you a fan of Game of Roses? That'd be a fun crossover interview. Yes, about 2 weeks ago, I interviewed the Game of Roses, and I would have to say, I think we hit it out of the park. It was a great conversation. How The Bachelor has evolved over the years. A look at influencer culture. Game of Roses interview. Now, a lot of people didn't catch this because I used a thumbnail of Brendan and Piper, and some people go, Dave, why did you do that? Well, it got 10,000 views, so I did something right. You see, sometimes the thumbnails don't work out well when it looks like this. So that's why. Maybe I'll switch it to this so people can see it. But that if you just search Dave Neal Game of Roses, that should pop up. You should be able to find it over there. All right, 300 people in the chat. Thank you guys all so much for sticking around. I'll hang out for a couple more minutes here. Finish up some more voicemails. It looks like we have one more here. It is not Kim in Dallas. Breaking news, not Kim in Dallas. But we always appreciate your call, Kim. Love your voice. Always bring up great points.
Dave, what's good? It's your homie, Josh from Boston.
Josh from Boston, everybody.
Just wanted to call in on this tonight's episode. Let's pour one out for the homie Joe. He was a good dude, you know. I actually liked him, and I did like the journey, the arc that he was on, of working through those emotions and being at a place where he could express himself to Michelle. I thought that was a great arc of a individual, of a character, of a person of the show. And it also really speaks to Michelle's ability. If Michelle's season is going to be a credit to anything, it's going to be a credit to how she is able to not have drama, get rid of the drama. Now, the producers can say the ratings tank. I've enjoyed this season simply because we're not going to leave thinking that Michelle handles drama poorly or is overly emotional or attracts a lot of negative attention. She handles her business like a queen, and look at the men that she has as finalists. They're not dramatic. We're not about to get any ex-girlfriends coming out the woodwork saying they did this. No, she handles her business correctly. So, and the second thing that will be a credit to Michelle's season is the way that she's able to get men of color to express themselves. And that's a very beautiful thing, especially as a black man myself, figuring out how to express yourself as a man and being in a position with a woman where she pulls that out of you, is able to draw that out of you. That's very compelling stuff. And you can especially see it in Brandon, who I think early on really showed his affection for her. And I think that's actually brought him to this moment because he's been so forward and so intentional with Michelle and how he expresses himself. So, I think she has two solid men. Don't know how I feel completely about Nate, but to me, seems like a solid guy. I don't have too many more judgments about the situation, but it's a great season in my book. I enjoy it. Keep it drama free. Let's keep it clean. I like Michelle and she deserves the best. So that's all I got. Appreciate you, Dave. Let's beat Nick Vial and all those other channels. All right, yo. Peace.
Josh in Boston, ladies and gentlemen. The man, the myth, the legend, Josh in Boston. Always a crowd favorite here. The ladies love you in the comment section. Renee says, this caller has a great voice. That is the voice of one Josh in Boston. Great points about, learning to express yourself. We watch the show because we want to see people fall in love, but we watch the show also because we see people learn a lot about themselves. You got guys like Joe, and some of these guys, you play basketball, some of these sports guys, they haven't had many deep relationships. Now, one may argue that, well, why are you on a show finding, your wife if you haven't had any deep relationships? But, not everyone's Bennett, someone who's like late 30s, who's got high emotional IQ or whatever he says, They cast these guys that are kind of misfits in some cases. But aren't we all misfits trying to figure out, how to love and be loved? Runner X says, okay, nothing against Clayton, but how did they not make one of these guys the next Bachelor? I don't think I've ever been so emotionally attached to the last man standing. Well, Runner X, I'll tell you. We can look at this with sinister motivations, like they were never going to pick a person of color, 2 seasons in a row, which is what a lot of people think. But if you look at, and that may be the case, but if you look at the other variable, Clayton was cast as the Bachelor. They didn't announce it, but he was cast as the Bachelor while all these guys were still at work on Michelle's season. Clayton was cast. We still have this weird turnaround where Michelle. You have to remember, we had Bachelor, Katie's Bachelorette, then Bachelor in Paradise, then Michelle. So we're already pushed back, and Bachelor airs January 3rd. So his season just wrapped. So there's a massive overlay, kind of a backlog, a shipping crisis, a delay, if you will, here with Clayton. So I don't think any of these, I mean, Rodney, it might have literally been like, all right, you got dumped. Will you be the Bachelor? Like, I don't know what the exact dates were from when they went into production, but we're looking at a different, the casting to an extent depends on the lead of the show. So if they're going to have Clayton, if they're looking at different people for the show, they have very quick window of decision to decide who they're going to have. So I look at it that way. We don't know much about Clayton, but it looks like he might be a blank enough slate to let these women run havoc around him. With his kind of good guy from the Midwest persona, these ladies just might tear him to pieces. We'll have to see. You guys have been doing great this live stream. Great calls, bringing great energy. Let's go to our next one. Phone line's wide open.
Hey, Dave, it's Sherry Ellison, your friend from being a fellow Rhode Islander.
Brody.
Anyway, I used to model for a local department store when I was in junior high.
Get it.
Maybe Tasha can relate to this. Everybody looks at your body and goes, oh, I don't know about this. I don't know about that. I don't know about this. I was thin, not as tall as Tasha by any stretch, but I had a short torso and long legs. And so I modeled in some sportswear shows at a local department store. What was funny was when a local agent for Eileen Ford agency, which was kind of big from New York.
Yeah, Ford.
The woman looked me up and down and said, oh, well, you're so sweet, my darling, but you have the right kind of body, but you're not nearly tall enough, and you have such a nice but little nothing face.
Yikes.
I'll tell you what, for pretty much anybody to be told they have a nothing face, I don't know how that felt to anybody else that ever had that happen for me. Damn. That was the point where I said, okay, I'm taking the scholarships and I'm going to college. I went to URI too, by the way.
Brody,
take care.
URI.
Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Thanks for the call. Very sweet. I mean, listen, yeah. What Tasha, my fiance, goes through as a model, they are judged nonstop. You can't, to the point where it's like, all right, am I going to do pasta? Well, I don't want to look bloated tomorrow, and so, you know what I mean. They're measured, all the time, and it's it's part of the industry. If you're going to wear someone's clothes and it has to look a certain way and all that, but unfortunately, I think the modeling world takes away a lot of compassion that would normally exist, because I think a lot of people that work in fashion feel like they can cut down these models because they're the beautiful ones out there making good money. And it's like, no, they're humans like the rest of us. You know what I mean? All right, this next call looks like it might be a international number, and it's long. It's a long phone call. So if this doesn't deliver, I'm going to have to cut out.
Hi, Dave. This is Winnie from Toronto, Canada.
Bonjour.
This is the second time I'm calling.
Merci beaucoup.
Anyways, based on watching tonight's episode, and I would say that if I was in Michelle's shoes, I would probably choose I would choose like Nate and Brandon. But to be honest, even though I was the first time I called, I was like, oh, Nate is like my Nigerian brother, I'm supporting him. But now I'm iffy about it because I just feel like he's coming off as someone that, this is a new experience for him, feeling love. So, yeah, I feel like he might really love Michelle right now. But again, when they go into the real world, and when they truly face tough times, because this is marriage, this is an engagement, and that's like a big deal. So you have to be sure that you are ready, and you have to be emotionally mature. So I don't know if Nate is all the way there yet. I'm worried that even though they get engaged, like later on, it might not work out. But I can't tell that for sure. But that's my fear with Nate. And I know she really likes the guy. But with Brandon, or Brandon, however you pronounce his name, sorry. With him, the reason why I would also choose Brandon is because, like, he has given Michelle that assurance, that affirmation that she needs, that, okay, I'm serious, I'm here for you. So it's almost like, I almost feel like he's like a safety net. Maybe she likes Nate more, but Brandon, because she's sure that, okay, if we go to the end, this is the guy that would, like, actually make it through. He'll propose and, like, everything would work out, like, you know. But I feel like she has more feelings for Nate. So, and with Joe, I was actually surprised that she didn't pick Joe, but to an extent, I was like, I would pick Brandon over Joe too. But because I feel like, I don't know, I just felt like Joe is nice and all, but maybe, yeah, I don't know, like maybe she feels like he might still have like a lot to learn or work on himself or something like that. So, but I know he's a good guy, so too bad that he didn't make it this far, or he did make it this far, but too bad that he went home tonight. So, and when Brendan, like, talked.
Oh, your voicemail cut off there. Thank you so much, Winnie from Toronto. It can only play a 3-minute voicemail. So I appreciate the phone call. And obviously, yeah, we've got a lot of, I would say just room for filling in the gaps there, obviously, with the edit. How's Nate reacting? Does she reciprocate Brandon's feelings? There's obviously a lot of emotions that we can't properly diagnose, but hey, that's why we watch the show. We fill in the gaps. Debbie said, Dave, do you have a P.O. box? I would like to send you and Tasha a gift. If you send me a message on Instagram at DNeils or on Facebook in the Dave Neal community, I can get that to you, so just let me know. All right, let's wrap this up. If there's any other voicemails, now's your last chance to get them in. We're going to wrap this chat up. We'll have a big long one next week. Next week will be a big long one. Thursday, I will be doing a Patreon live stream at lunchtime. Right here, patreon.com/Dave Neal. That's a private membership only community. Costs $5, $8, $12, whatever you want to spend. The lowest level, $5 a month to get access to those private live streams. I love these live streams. It's a small couple dozen people. There's like 150 total people, but there's always like 20, 30 people at a time that are on the live stream. We're also going to have more vlog content. So if you haven't already, by all means, definitely get over to my vlog channel. That is a place where I post more lifestyle videos. And this month in December, I'm making, hold on, I'm going to pull it up right here. This month in December, I will be making a vlog every single day of the month. Dave Neal Vlogs. Right there, just type in Dave Neal Vlogs. You can check it out. I like to think these are adorable. I like to think they are very cute. Today's vlog, the worst pancakes ever made. That's right, I messed up the pancakes. I also set up the backyard Christmas lights, if you guys want to check that out. Last night, we had a 2-hour live stream. This is free. If you guys want to go watch this right now, you can. Making Tasha's gingerbread castle. What else do we have? There's my channel. I'm trying to find the vlog channel here. So there's the vlog channel. Very close to 3,000 subscribers. Again, I really appreciate all those that have supported it. If you want to see my behind the scenes of my conversation with Bachelor Fantake, I've got that vlog as well, interviewing Bachelor Fantake. All the behind the scenes stuff is all over there. So you can go check that out. Dave Neal Vlogs. If you're enjoying this content and you need more of it, we've got enough content for you. Veronica says she wants more Latina representation. Veronica, I think you should apply to be on the show if you're single. By all means, be the change you wish to see. But yeah, that would be nice to have some Latina representation there. See if we have any more comments. Alexa says, what is your favorite city that you have visited? That's a really good question. I like so many different cities for so many different reasons. I really have a hard time answering that. All right, some more questions. Should do some subscriber giveaways. Tickets for next show. That's good. That's a good idea. Some subscriber giveaways. Yeah, no spoiling Spider-Man. I'm trying to read it. The vlogs have been fantastic, says Rebecca. I've struggled getting the holiday spirit the last few years, but the vlogs have really helped this year. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. All right. Well, I guess that's going to be it for me. Let me just make sure. One last look. I see no new voicemails. My last refresh on the voicemails. So I think we're going to call it right there. I'm going to go get ready for my stand-up show. We'll call it at a clean 1 hour. You guys all have a fantastic rest of your evening. Again, no West Coast live stream. So if you missed the West Coast live stream, just rewatch this. That's all you have to do. And let me get you some nice outgoing music here. I'll try to respond to any comments if I missed any on the outgoing music. But I hope everyone's having a happy holiday season. Again, if you need some extra cheer, go to Dave Neal Vlogs. And I appreciate all of you so much. Thank you for all the super chats and for all of your participation tonight. You know, I'm exhausted from the holiday season, but you guys keep providing me so much energy to keep going. So thank you guys all so much. We'll see you soon. Luis says, you missed all of mine, LOL. Are you referring to me? Trying to read your comments here. All right, that'll be it.
Waiting for snow, and each day I feel better, and my hope begins to grow. Been staring out my window, looking for a sign, something to remind me of the place I left behind. My time of the year. There's a feeling I remember from the time when I was young. On the last days of December, me and you and everyone, we would run around the big house where your cousins used to live, and we do lots of things I know our folks would not forgive. My time of the year. Time of the year. Ooh, my time of the year.
Thank you guys for a great live stream and a very productive day here in the Bachelor world. Have a good evening, everybody. See you bright and early for tomorrow's recap. Bye now.